guys, I'm Dawn.
I'm Jim.
And you all already know we're the ones that the video went viral.
For those of you who haven't already heard yet.
Okay, so guys, today we're going to have a special subject because a lot of you have been asking us to give more content concerning what we did, like some steps as far as when we got through what you were dealing with right before the secret, right before the wedding. But before we do that,
this is what I've waited all day for. Wait. Ladies, go get your husbands because, I mean, this is what the men really want to see right here.
This is my Gabrielle Union package that came, and we ordered it a while ago, and it came, and I can't wait to see what I got. Oh, the black and white dress. I forgot. It's been a while. So I forgot what I got. The black and white dress. So I'm going to wear that next time. And, oh, the suit. The suit.
Rain suit.
It is not a rain suit.
Next, we're going to get her some of the rubber galoshes.
Don't pay him any attention. Gabrielle, just a shout out. You make the nicest clothes.
I'll admit.
Yes.
It's very nice.
The things, yes. The stuff that she makes is very, very, very classic, like ladies. Okay. So,
I don't think Gabrielle Union is spending too much time bent over sewing machine making those things, baby.
Well, she came up with the idea, so we really...
The idea of putting my name on those clothes.
No, the idea of she picked the things to make sure that...
That's true. And
yeah.
I think a lot of her.
Yeah. Okay. All right, so we're going to talk tonight about...
Something.
Well, the thing about not panicking. We're really going to talk about the first thing that you need to know. We talked about 18 days before our wedding, we found out that he was diagnosed with squamous cell carcinoma. And so people that are dealing with certain health challenges have been asking us to please give more content. Like, what did you do? How did you guys get through that? You know, it was a difficult time. You guys gave us, like, this was the surprise, but what exactly did you guys do? And so we're going to talk about what the first thing, the main thing you need to do or not do when you do find out that you're in a situation like that. And the first thing is, don't panic. But the question is, how do you not panic? And so some of the things that... Go ahead. Don't
freeze. Don't freeze up. That's what your instinct is to do. You just kind of lock up. You're not sure what to do, what move to make. It just paralyzes you for a second. Even when you're moving, you feel kind of numb and paralyzed.
Yeah.
So for me, it's not really panic, or maybe that is how panic applies itself to me. Mm-hmm. But there's this, and for me, it's looking into the absolute unknown. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And when the unknown is very threatening.
Yeah.
You don't realize you live your whole life with what you just assumed to be as a promise of lots of tomorrows.
Yes.
And in the moment that you hear that word, you are so envious of every other day of your life that you lived and not had to worry about that.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. So we're saying that the first thing that we need to think about is don't panic. And so we're asking, I think for me, what I thought of, and with Jim, we were dealing with the 18 days before the wedding of the diagnosis, and I'm a twice brain tumor survivor, so not the same thing because it was not cancerous when what I dealt with was benign, but it was just in a really compromising place where they told me basically I could lose my vision. But I think the main thing is not panicking, and how do you not panic? And the how do you not panic comes from, ask yourself, what's different today from yesterday? The only difference between today and yesterday is the knowledge of the diagnosis. And really just asking yourself, okay, what makes you panic? Fear. And where does fear come from? Not knowing. Right? Like you were saying, not the unknown.
It's not just the unknown. It's that the unknown be malevolent. You know, you can live with unknown because your whole life has always been lined up with unknowns that are coming at you. And so for the most part, you're used to adjusting to those things.
Mm-hmm.
But when the unknown promises potentially some very bad consequences in your life, that, and you don't have any promise or any way of knowing what to do to change that.
Right.
So yeah, that's the first thing that you're going to be addressed with, but addressing that isn't the answer.
And not addressing the panic.
Right. That's not the answer. Having panic, having fear, and addressing panic and fear are not the answer.
Okay, so what would you say is the answer?
Go to bed every night, get up every morning, go to work, do the things you do every day, eat your meals, exercise if you can, laugh, live, and do all that you can to forward the progress in the fight against the cancer. Recognize it as an invader in your body that has to be ousted, but don't let it own the rest of your life.
Well, I agree with that, but again, we're being asked, though, okay, those are the things that you were determined to do, and that make a lot of sense. But when people are facing fear and the unknown, wouldn't you say, like, to find out as much as you can about what you're dealing with?
Yes. And you were a tremendous help in the educational process. Yeah, I got to tell you, she's absolutely right. When we started to have a barrage of information, she dug up so much, I dug up a little bit, but there was so much input, so many places to look, so much to consider, and so many fields of different ways to address it. That established some hope.
Yes, exactly.
And of course, fear, the silly acronym, false events appearing real, is just specifically at work in this case.
Yeah.
Because while this was going through, you couldn't look at me and tell me there was anything wrong.
Right. Yeah, he looked healthy, completely healthy.
It was inside my nose. And if it had its way, it would have gone ahead and eaten through my brain, maybe some other unpleasant thing.
Yeah.
And none of those things had happened, but you want to fear them so much. Right now, they're false events. They hadn't happened.
Right.
But you got to be careful not to let them appear real in your life.
Right. And I think the other thing, the thing that I think is most important to let them know when they do get that diagnosis, because there are going to be people that are watching and they've just gotten a diagnosis of whether it's breast cancer or brain cancer or diabetes or whatever the diagnosis is, to make sure that oftentimes when you get a diagnosis, there are people that are trying to push you to move now, right now.
Oh, yeah.
Just like scammers, scammers try to...
It's like a timeshare sales pitch. I mean, literally, they're in that much of a hurry.
Yeah.
Especially the surgeons.
Yeah, and we're not saying that, we're not anti-surgeons because we thank God for them.
Yeah.
But it's important that you recognize, first and foremost, that it's your body. And it's
You'll do this on your pace.
Yes.
Do this on your pace.
And it's still your life.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're going into a panic, then you're freezing up and you're not able to really process, and you're not able to really just search out for the right information. And the first thing that we did, I just got on the internet and started looking at everyone that had gone through what my husband had gone through, what Jim had gone through, and
not a whole bunch of them.
Well, yeah, but there was one guy.
There was a few.
Yeah, there was one guy. His name was Michael, and he was from New York. And when I saw that he had gone through just phenomenal stuff, and he was still alive, and so I knew that was hope. And so I would suggest that whatever you're going through, that you find someone who has someone's beat it somewhere and begin to ask questions.
And it is so relieving for you when you talk to somebody that's come out the other side.
Absolutely.
If you can find somebody with any kind of cancer, you have no idea how incredible it feels to be in the presence of somebody that had it and doesn't anymore.
Exactly. When I had the brain surgery, they had me to speak to a lady who'd been through the surgery before me, and I was terrified. I was 19 at the time and totally terrified. But just having that conversation with her just kind of calmed me down. And the other thing is, make sure that you choose, you're hiring a doctor. You're actually hiring a doctor like you would hire an attorney. So find a doctor that they line up, your belief systems lined up. We found an amazing doctor at Houston West and Methodist West.
No, actually Methodist downtown.
Methodist downtown, yeah, Methodist downtown. Okay.
Medical center.
Yeah. And Dr. Bernicker, yes? We had already assembled our treatment program. Right.
We knew the chemicals, we knew the chemo that we wanted to use, we used the immunotherapy, we knew everything we wanted to do, and we brought it to him and said, this is what we're doing. Will you oversee this for us? And he was willing to.
Yeah, not just...
And it was a win for him, because when we went under his care, I had cancer. While under his care, I become cancer-free.
Right.
And so if you could say that's a win-win deal.
Yeah.
And I don't mind helping somebody else win in that case.
Yeah. And, I mean, he was absolutely, the doctor and in charge. Absolutely.
Yes.
And he facilitated so much. But find an oncologist, if you're dealing with cancer, find an oncologist that supports the way you think as well. And know that it's okay to fire a doctor. Know that it's okay, like you would fire an attorney, to decide that, your treatment is not lining up with my belief or, the way I want to do it. And then the other thing is decide what you're willing to do without or not do without. Like, we decided that we weren't going to do without his eye. I mean, I like when he winks at me, but not permanently. Mm-hmm. So we were like, no, decide what lifestyle you're not willing to give up. And then fight for it. Fight for it. So there you have it. Those are the things. The first thing that when you get a diagnosis, don't panic.
Don't rush into anything. Don't panic. Don't do anything in panics. And I gotta say, you're gonna have a choice when you begin treatment. And your choice is of three things. Trust the doctor. Trust myself. Or trust the Lord. You're going to choose one of those three things. You've got to trust something first. And I know the doctor knows more about cancer than I do, but I'm a lot more motivated to keep my body parts than he is. But the Lord is fail-proof.
Amen.
It's never going to be wrong.
Amen.
And ultimately, it was his message to me that led me to making certain very crucial decisions at points of crisis in the cancer that were always the right decision.
Yeah, absolutely. So we thank God for what he has done, and hopefully this will be helpful to someone that's in that state. Remember, scammers, they always try to make you panic.
Close now.
Yeah. Hurry up. And it's okay to stop, take a moment.
You have time to take a breath.
Catch your breath, process it, find other people who've gone through it, and then begin to gather information, do the research, and then proceed. Okay, so hopefully that's helped someone.
Rocket's going for win number 61 tonight.
Oh, goodness. Okay, guys, we'll see you next time. We're going to answer some questions from you guys. So we'll see you.